What if I told you Zoro's final opponent won't be Mihawk but someone even stronger and more personal? Zoro's journey hasn't just been about strength, it's been about a promise, a dream, and a curse. Today we dive into the ultimate Zoro theory, one that might explain his endgame battle, his connection to Wano, and why his final fight could shake the entire world of One Piece. Let's go back to the start. Zoro, a boy who trained in a small dojo, swore on the grave of his childhood rival to become the world's strongest swordsman. But this dream wasn't born out of ego, it was a promise, a burden that would lead him to the edge of death more than once. And when he lost to Mihawk, he didn't run, he bore down and ready to die. That wasn't weakness, that was Zoro's true strength. But what if Zoro's destiny was never just to defeat Mihawk? What if everything, the cursed sword, the one-eye mystery, the Asura form was leading to something far bigger? Zoro's resemblance to Shikimochimaru isn't coincidence. He connected to Wano, to Ryuma, the man who slayed a dragon and protected the nation with one sword. What if the world's governments know Zoro's bloodline? What if they fear that another dragon slayer has risen? But now let's connect the dots. Zoro's village, Shimotsuki village, founded by Shimotsuki Kozaburo, a samurai from Wano who left illegally 55 years ago. He didn't just settle in East Blue, he passed on his swordsmanship and created a bloodline there. Guess what? Zoro's teacher Kushiro is Kozoboru's son, and that makes Kuina Zoro's childhood rival. He's part of the Shimotsuki family. Now think deeper. Zoro's lived with his grandmother, not his parent. Why? Because his father could be Arashi, Koshiro's brother and a swordsman from Wano. And who was Arashi's wife? Possibly Teru, another Wano native. Their son Roronoa Zoro. The name Roronoa may have come from the mother's side. Real twist Oda's love to do. So what does this mean? Zoro isn't just connected to Wano. He is Wano royalty in disguise. But we are not done yet. Why does Zoro's resemble Ryuma, the legendary swordsman from Wano who slayed a dragon? They both use the same sword, Shushui, have similar facial features, are known as the samurai who can cut down anything. Even Ryuma's spirit acknowledged Zoro in Thriller Bark. It can't be coincidence anymore. This is fate. This is lineage. This is Zoro's true identity waiting to be revealed. Zoro's journey isn't just been about strength, it's been about a legacy he might not even fully understand yet. And when he awakened Enma, the sword of Odin, it didn't reject him, it accepted him. But why? Maybe because he shares the same bloodline. Shimotsuki Kozaburo left Wano decades ago, settled in East Blue, founded a dojo. That dojo is Zoro's birthplace. His master Koshiro, his first rival Kuina Kozaburo's granddaughter. So now we ask, was Zoro meant to inherit Wano's will, to bring justice where Odin fell, to become the world's strongest not just by fate but by heritage? Ichiro Oda never confirms anything directly, but every clue, every hint points to one final reveal. Roronoa Zoro, the forgotten samurai prince of Wano. And when the world meets the king of swords, they realize Zoro was never Luffy's right hand. He was the blade that was always meant to lead the storm.